jump rope, we played freeze tag, we played, I mean, we found all kinds, jacks. I remember playing jacks. You know, I mean, any little thing just satisfied us. I don't know, that was when I was growing up. But,
yeah, we also had, they call it Los Pajaritos, the little.
oh yeah, I remember
Remember
that.
that one?
Yeah.
And there'd be a buyer and a seller, and the rest of us would be right there waiting. And then the buyer would come and ask that they wanted to buy one of us, and bird. But you'd have to say what color. Everybody had a color. And if that buyer would say the color, as soon as they say the color, we'd
had to
run.
run.
And that seller had to,
run
buyer
and
had to go buy.
run and catch it. And they caught it and they kept it. It was fun. I remember that. I remember that.
And then we had the other one where we call it, I don't know for the guy, but the onions, las cebollas.
I don't remember.
And we'd all sit down on the ground, and somebody would sit in front of you, and everybody like that in a line, and it'd be the same thing. But the seller, the buyer would come and say they wanted to buy some onions. And so they'd knock on each head and say, now, this is the one I want. And when they say, this is the one I want, you grab on. The one that behind you was supposed to grab, they weren't supposed to let that seller pick you out, you know, but if whoever was strongest, those were just silly games. You know, we played a lot of marbles too.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we played a lot of marbles, and I go way back. I don't know if they are. They go way back to where there where we lived, you know, it was country. I remember my address was Rural Route 111, and we had no electricity, we had no water. We had a well, which that well is still back there, but it's closed up. But it's on still to the back one of the property, my grandfather's property, and but we had. I remember we had an aunt. We'd play out in the street till nighttime, and many times the mothers would be sitting with their fathers, you know, outside, and we'd all be hollering and playing and all. But I had an aunt that I loved. She knew a lot about the stars, and we'd go out there, and we'd all lay down in the grass and look up, and she'd tell us, now this is the Milky Way, you know, this is so and so, you know, and all those, you know, things about that I never learned, but still, but it was still dark, you know. We had no. I was a scaredy cat, you know, but I'd still be out there, and when it was over, I'd run to my house. I could just see myself.
So was it dark?
Oh yeah,
It was very dark.
dark, no light, no lights out there. We had to study in the kerosene lamps, you know, and all that for a while until the city came.